guys and dolls. Welcome to the Opie-verse. As always, I'm your host, Mr. Opie1. I have a very exciting guest for us this evening, somebody who I speak to quite regularly behind the scenes, and somebody I've not had the chance to speak with up front like this. So I'm excited. But before we get into that, as always, um, what have we been up to? Well, this week I finally got to be best man at my best mate's wedding, which was epic, even if more so because I've been best man on this wedding for like 2 years now. It was meant to be last year, then it got pushed to this year. The stag do was in Ibiza. We did this. We finally got there. So I feel like it's kind of been as much of an honor as it is, and I was thrilled to do it. It's great to kind of have done it. We had our amazing day. Well, they had their amazing day. I just helped. But it's just nice run into Christmas. It is Halloween today, so we're not going to talk about Christmas, but be prepared for those conversations to start from tomorrow. As you can see, I didn't go for dress up. I'm sure we'll talk about that tonight, but I don't know. I enjoy it. The missus isn't as keen. I don't know. We've got something coming up soon, but we shall see. We shall see. But good to see. Hey, Lewis, how's it going? And don't worry if you can't stay long. It's nice for you to drop in and say hello anyway. And Sasha or Mac, how's it going as well? What's been going on this week? So I've made a bit of a purchase this week. So as you can see, I bought Bob. And you'll understand why he's called Bob. It's not the BB-8 thing, but you'll understand why he's called Bob when you see my TikTok this week on him. But you can't really see it on here, but Bob is a little bit yellow. So I got him pretty cheap for that reason, and I'm going to try and fix him. And that'll make a bit of a series of TikToks, and I'll probably do an overall video here on YouTube as well. Hey Harvey, how's it going? But yeah, our guest tonight will certainly be able to help with that as well. But just before we get into it, as always, I want to remind you, this is certainly a more mature theme than a mature stream than you may be used to from TikTok or other Lego streams that are around or geeky streams that are around. That's not to say we are going to intentionally take our shirts off or start swearing or do whatever we're going to do, but it may just well happen. So we shall see. I'll do for the last time ever as well. Today marks the end of my affiliation with Essential Caps UK. So if you want to check out one of their caps, I have two Marvel ones, Spider-Man and Captain America. Check them out. Links in bio. Essential Caps UK. Use the code OPI for 35% off. Wicked Brick, as always, are bossing it. Keep an eye out on Wicked Brick, though, I would say, because they've recently just done a double points event because they have their own reward points. So whether you've ordered from them before or not, worth keeping an eye on because it's worth. I've probably got a free case now that I can order soon as well. And then finally, Lee Light Go for all of your Lego Light needs. Probably something we'll talk about as well in this stream. But again, it's just one of the options that are out there for you. 20% off and free delivery with the code. Before we get into it, I will just loop back in. But good to see you, Stevie. I'm feeling you, mate. Stevie, I am loaded with man flu. Our guest tonight has no idea what man flu is. So I don't know if it's a British term or it's just something that she's unfamiliar with, as her genetics will not allow her to suffer from man flu. So what we say, we play it off as it's being weathered in the Jackie so potentially so. It's a good shout, but my OCD will not allow that. But anyway, without further ado, you may know her from TikTok. You may know her from YouTube specifically with A4 Gals and Pals. You might even know her from Instagram. But I know her as Maddie or Brick and Mad. Maddie,
hi.
Good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great, and it's afternoon for me. I don't know what time it is over there.
It is indeed, yeah. So it's just gone 8 o'clock. So this stream started at 8 o'clock. So that's a warning, and I'm sure all of our guests in the chat who are here in the UK will have the same issue of doorbells ringing right now and doors knocking as children come round and try and get their sweets or candy. Um,
Oh, that's right.
but
Yes.
obviously, I've raided it myself. Has it started there yet?
No, usually it's like right before sundown, so probably around
Okay,
7 o'clock.
yeah.
I don't know. And some cities do it a day earlier because today is technically a school day. Like we don't have Halloween off. Unless
It's
you're in
Sunday.
Catholic school, you get November 1st off usually because it's All Saints Day.
What? I went to Catholic school. I didn't get that off.
Oh, really? I mean,
Yeah,
I've heard it happening here in the US that they get November 1st off. So,
did not know
I don't
that.
know.
Did not know that.
Hmm.
But what about you? Do you have any plans for Halloween yourself? Do you have a costume in mind this year, or you just under the
um,
radar getting out there?
well, no, I was actually supposed to be working on Halloween. I know, right? Being an adult, but something happened and the schedule got flip-flopped. So, nope. So any costume idea that I had, like I didn't put any effort into it because I thought I was going to be working. So
Is that something you would usually do as well? I know you Americans absolutely love your costumes and dressing up and all of that.
mm, no, not usually. I don't know. Like I think there are a lot of people who are obsessed with Halloween, and I think it's interesting to hear what other countries do for Halloween. I don't know, like in I remember in Germany and Austria, it was like very like not really a thing, but they would do it
Mhm.
in the schools. And same with like in China, like they would do it in the schools, but they wouldn't, go around to people's houses. That's kind of weird if you think about it.
Yeah, it is. I feel like here, like if I compare it to when I was a kid, well, it's very different when I was a kid here, but I was suppose as an adult, it's changed a lot. I can't remember even in kind of my teens, late teens, I can't remember it being a big thing for like
Yeah.
people going out and like adults going out and getting dressed up. Whereas now, like that's the thing. But some would say it's very Americanized here now. But I think in kind of your more broader Western Central Europe, that doesn't catch on. That hasn't caught on there.
I also think it's because they already have a holiday that's kind of like Halloween, right? Like Carnival, like Carnival,
Is, isn't that Brazil?
is it? No, no,
Yeah.
in I mean like in like Switzerland, like that region, Switzerland, like
Oh,
Germany,
really?
France, like that area, they celebrate like almost like Mardi Gras or something. It's like Mardi Gras, but it's not Mardi Gras. They call it Carnival.
Uh,
I don't know.
I
we
did
need we
not
need
know
some
that.
help on that. Yeah, I
I'll,
did not
uh,
know.
I'll have to have a look into that one. No. So obviously I
Yeah,
know Mardi Gras, which is, I think it's French in origin, isn't it? Because Mardi Gras
yeah,
is French term, which is Shrove Tuesday, and then you've got Carnival.
yeah.
We have like Notting Hill Carnival here, which is I think that's got like Caribbean roots or Afro Caribbean roots. So there's probably all sorts, but yeah, it's catching on well here. But obviously, all of the adults had their Halloween last night because it was Saturday night, party
Yeah,
night. So
yeah. Yeah, it was really nuts. I was driving home from work really late. It's probably like 1:30, and you could just see just crowds of people in different people's houses and bars, like dressed up. I was like,
like
oh,
the
that looks
purge
like
on the streets.
yeah, yeah. It's like oh my gosh,
How many people did you see dressed up as Squid Game? I'm already like I haven't even seen Squid Game.
so many. Like, come on, guys, that's not original. Come on. Now
Yeah,
it would,
it's
yeah, like it's just not original anymore. But what I did see was that somebody did a reenactment in California of the Squid Games. Like they had like 400 people dressed in the tracksuits and the numbers, and they were wearing cow heads, and they did it outside of like a meat processing plant or something. Vegetarians, you know.
right. Yeah, got you,
Yeah.
got you. We had I saw I think on TikTok earlier today. Do you guys see much of like British news over there? Like, do you get British news in the American news?
Not really, unless it's like something like jaw-dropping, shocking.
So we are at the minute. What's happening quite a bit, particularly in London, it's a thing called Insulate Britain, and it's a lot of kind of older adults, particularly. And what they do is they do like sit-in protests on main motorways. So they'll basically sit down and be like, pull out these big banners, sit down with high-vis vests on, and refuse to move. It's probably been going on for about a month, and it happens like every day. But it's about is homes apparently in the UK that have been built over the last 10 to 15 years haven't been insulated properly. So people are spending more on gas and electric, which
Uh-huh.
obviously is like contributing to the whole crisis. But there was like a big group of young lads got dressed up as Insulate Britain and were just walking around London last night and just blockading people, blockading bars, like all in jest, and then obviously going in. But they were like just stopped and like it was hilarious. It was like there's nothing better than satire, and when it's on point and timely. So yeah, that
I'm
was
gonna
fun.
have to look that one up later. That's pretty.
I'll
Hmm.
see if I can find it. It's probably I'm sure I liked it, so if I can find the link, I'll play it. But yeah, it
um.
was quite funny. But obviously for us, it's very satirical, but it's very on point. But yeah, you mentioned there, and this is something we've spoke about briefly in the past, but yeah, I know you've been here in the UK, you've been around Europe, you've kind of traveled the world quite a bit. How how did all that happen? What was it all about? Kind of, and how more importantly, how did you find yourself back home?
Um, I don't know. I think I was just, I got the wanderlust, right? After studying abroad in Austria in college, and there was an opportunity to teach in Austria for 2 years, and I went. My German is not that great, but I went ahead and I applied, and I was put on a wait list, and 2 weeks before I was supposed to go, like they were like, "Hey, you can come if you want." And I was like, "What?" So it was like everything overseas just kind of like happened, like um yeah. And so for 2 years I taught English in Austria, in Salzburg, and in Feldkirch, which is a little village that's next to Switzerland and Liechtenstein. And then after grad school, I was like, I still want to go back to Europe. Like, I still want to live there. So I applied for a job in Berlin and worked for a startup university in Berlin. And then I was deported. And then I wasn't allowed to go back to the UK or
Okay,
anywhere for 2 years.
okay. So what? How did you get deported? Did you
Oh,
overstay?
I was just being so bad. No, no, nothing that was my fault. It was the
It
university.
never is.
It never is your own fault, right? You always blame someone else. But the university, they were supposed to work out a visa for me to work there, and
Right.
they didn't do the proper paperwork, and so I was working on a tourist visa for 3 months, and then the German government found out about it, and they said you have 6 days to leave Berlin, and so I packed everything up and I went home. I
Ah,
lost
that
my job and stuff.
sucks.
Lost my job, lost apartment, lost everything. Came
Ah,
back and then worked in a restaurant, made pancakes for 2 years, a year, 2 years, and finally was like, I'm done being a waitress and a host and all that. Like, I'm gonna go teach in China. And
that.
because, oh yeah,
How did that go? Yeah, yeah. How did that go?
um, it was really interesting. I saw a Facebook ad. You're like, oh, okay.
Sure, surely alarms bells are ringing when you see on Facebook.
Well, the
Would
thing
you like
is
to come
that
to China and
I
teach?
know the company EF, Education
Okay,
First, because I went on a tour in high school with Education First in France, um, and then so I was like, okay, this seems legit, whatever. So I went to China, and then because of the pandemic, it seemed like it was safer um, in America than it would be living in a city of 27 million people. So I left
you'd think.
Shanghai. Yeah, I left Shanghai, and it ended up being worse in America than it was in China.
So
But
did you leave like February, March, like beginning of the year last year?
I left February 6th. I left China February 6th. January 22nd was the start of the Chinese New Year holiday, I think, back then. And, you know, they were advising people not to travel, but people still were traveling. And that's why it kind of like picked up a little bit over there. Anyways, like, I thought it was going to explode. So I was like, I'm just going to get on a plane and go home. I went home February 6th of 2021. And I've been home since February, no, 2020, sorry, February 6th, 2020.
Yeah.
And I've been home since. So, and now it's October 31st, 2021.
Yeah, what a blur that 18 months has been, right?
It's been a blur of like almost 2 years. We're almost approaching 2-year anniversary of being home, which is like pretty insane. Because I didn't think I would be home. I thought I would still be in China for a while. What is the equivalent of a grad school? What is the equivalent?
Well, what is grad school to you?
A master's degree?
Okay, so you've already got your graduate. It's
Yeah.
post-grad. Okay, yeah.
Oh,
So
you call it post-grad?
well, it would just be your master's degree. You're still at university, but you're studying your master's.
Yeah. There's so many terminologies, and I've kind of like forgotten them over the years. It's like, what do you call after you do college? You can get like almost like a master's, but not a master's, like a post.
So that would just be your degree. So that'd be your university degree. Because college for us is different here than it is for you.
Yeah, college is like high school, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah, you call college high school almost.
Yeah, so here you can leave school at 16, but you have to stay in some kind of education. So some schools do run up to 18. Some people go to college, some people do apprenticeships, but you can do that from the age of 16. What you would call college is what we call university. So that's where from the age of like 18 onwards, you would then go to university. Well, some people go to university, and then get their university degree. And then after that is your master's degree.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because I think the UK has a similar system to Germany. Like at the age of like 15 or 16, you have to like test into like a different, either like a technical high school, or you can start beginning your university studies, or you can start like, you start branching off. Like you have a lot of different options other than just staying in high school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's well, I mean, I left school at 16, so and then I did 2 apprenticeships back to back. And then I have my career now has absolutely nothing to do with either of those apprenticeships. So what does it all come for anyway,
Yeah, I I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people are finding themselves in that boat. Like what I do, like I didn't go to college to work with the job that I have. Like I am using some life, like this is the important thing to remember, guys, if you are still in school, is that anything that you learn in college and high school can be applied to every day, right? Like, yeah, sure, I studied anthropology and I studied teaching, and now I'm working in security. Like how is that relevant? Well, I learned a lot about like leadership and dealing with people and in anthropology, and that kind of helped me with the job that I have now.
Yeah, and everything's applicable, isn't it? But then also it's just like the social element of it as well. Like you'll never get, and I didn't get that, but I was fortunate that a lot of my friends went to university and college and stuff. So I kind of lived through them. They just got the debt. I would kind of party with them all weekend and go back to work on a Monday. They would live the student life and just rack up the debt. It was perfect. Like they all had the student house, so I'd stay with them and then go back home, where I paid like £100 a month rent and got like everything paid for and all of my food, and then get paid as well. So
you're lucky.
I lived the dream.
That was a smart move, because the debt that I'm in right now for going to school is just.
It's how they get you. It's how they get you.
How they get you. Hmm.
Um, so when you're in the UK, we've talked about this in the past. You love some like UK culture and particularly UK
Oh,
shows and
sandwiches.
sandwiches. So yeah, so I actually had a Tesco meal deal the other day.
Oh my
But you
God.
love, but is it the Tesco meal deal you love, or is it the Boots meal deal you love? So Boots
All of
being the
it. No, the
pharmacy.
Boots
Oh,
meal deal was pretty good. I think it was at the time it was 2 for $5, right? You get 2 sandwiches for £5.
possibly,
Yeah, I
possibly.
don't
I don't know.
remember. Anyways, all of them were good. I love the chutney one. My favorite was the chutney with like I think it was like some white kind of sharp cheese. Maybe it was cheddar chutney, sharp white cheddar, and like a little bit of lettuce. Oh my god, those ones were those ones were the bomb. And I
They
just
just,
remember. Oh, I was just gonna say, just remember like my first time being in the UK and experiencing those sandwiches, like being in the airport lobby and just like stocking up on a bunch of the sandwiches to take back. And then anytime I flew into London Heathrow, I would get really excited and be like, I hope I have enough layover time to grab. Because I've done a lot of flying and a lot of in and out of London Heathrow to get
yeah,
to, Austria or
yeah, yeah.
Switzerland or any of those places. But yeah.
You know, Bricks and Bimbos, Ellie.
Hmm.
Yeah, like she's kind of dual national, so she
Yeah.
is half British, and she's actually coming to Britain in a month.
What?
So you
Does
should,
she have a passport? British passport?
yeah. I
What?
believe her dad is British. It could even be both of her parents, or I can't remember exactly, but certainly one of her parents are full British. So you should get her to stock a suitcase up for you with
I know. I think I have a list of things that I want from her. I'm gonna message her and be like, "Yo, I'll pay for this. These
paracetamol,
things." Yeah,
paracetamol.
paracetamol. That's one. Hey guys, I don't know if you guys know this and you're in the UK, but paracetamol is like illegal in the US. You can't buy that here. I don't know why. You can't get it.
Because they want to push the opioids.
I'd have to say though, paracetamol is like one of the only things that just miraculously just it just works. Like,
Do you know it's in everything as well, like cold and flu medicine. It's everywhere. Like I went to Tesco today. I got my meal deal, did my big shop. I have the man flu and picked up some paracetamol. 29 pence. That's how much it was for like 16 paracetamol. 29p.
Tylenol doesn't want us to have it. That's the thing. Tylenol and Advil, they're just like, you know what? We're just gonna like push paracetamol out of the market over here and we're gonna charge a lot of money for our product. Like,
There
oh
you
my
go.
god. It's okay. Yeah, that's so goofy. The other thing that I really used to you can get it in the States in some places is drinking the iron brew.
Hmm.
Iron brew, bruh.
So Stevie will be over the moon about that. Stevie being Scottish.
Mm.
Um, but obviously Iron Brew is like Scottish pride. Same as Mac, like they'll all love that. I mean it's a great drink. The one thing with Iron Brew, it's great for a hangover. I
Mhm.
feel it's epic the next year for a hangover, and you can get it in the US. You can get it in the States.
You can get it in the specialty stores, but we would mix it.
Well, what does it mix well with though?
Vodka.
Does it? I can't imagine. I feel like that. I feel like Iron Brew. It gives the impression it would separate from the vodka because it's very kind of unique. It's just like, nah, we're not mixing. We're not mixing. I feel like it's more with the after drink, but yeah.
Mm, I don't
Anything
know.
else?
Mm, what else did I miss about the UK? Oh, one thing that I really love just going to in any country I've lived in is going to like, like a typical drugstore, right? And just like looking at all the different products. And well, they sell them now in the US here, but there's like little Vaseline tubs of
Vaseline, yeah. The little
yeah, like
blue
lip balm.
tin things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there was one that I really liked. It was like aloe, it was like green, it was like aloe vera something. I don't know. But I bought like 7 or 8 of them when I was there because I was like, "Oh, they don't have these in America, and I love it." I think I still have some, um, but I would use it for everything, not only my lips, but also, like, my cuticles. It worked really well on cuticles. Mm.
Oh, didn't
Yeah,
know that.
anyways. Yeah.
So when I'm shipping you magazines, what you actually want is
All the
Vaseline and paracetamol.
Yeah.
Imagine being a customs agent and opening up a box full of Lego Star Wars magazines, Vaseline, and paracetamol.
Exactly.
It
They
sounds like
probably
a wild night.
it does sound like a wild night. They're like, interesting. Um, Paracetamol probably isn't a good thing to ship. Actually, I thought about that. Like, I mean, I have shipped medications over. Um, I don't know if anyone's had experience with that shipping. You just never
You can
know.
have a
U.S.
look.
Customs agents will go through anything. Like I've gotten slips in my suitcases and mail that it's been like searched. The best was when have you ever had your suitcase searched like without you
Once,
knowing?
once,
Yeah, and then
oh
there's like a
no,
little
not,
slip.
no, I've had it done in person.
Oh, in person. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm flagged. Oh, I probably am flagged, and we'll back up and I'll explain this in a second. But
Okay.
anytime ever since this one
Maddie, are
thing
you a
happened.
spy?
Hmm?
Are you a spy for one
Oh
of
yeah,
these
I'm totally
countries?
a
Are you
spy.
like a double agent?
I'm totally a
Okay.
double agent spy. But they ever since this one thing happened, I've been anytime I travel internationally, my suitcases get searched. So, yeah. Like and then there's like a slip, but the worst time it happened, it was like I came back from China for like a summer vacation with my family, and I get back home and I like open up my suitcase and I was like, "What the heck were they doing in here?" Like everything, usually I fold things neatly and they're in bags, and everything was just like all over the place. Like it looked like a tornado hit my suitcase. And then there was a slip at the top and it said like inspected by TSA, blah 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 blah. And then there's like a little memo that they were looking for a certain item in my bag that like I guess showed up on the scanning thing. And I was like, "Oh my god, seriously, they did all of that because of a camera?" Like, jeez, whatever. So, yeah, that happens to me a lot because maybe it's just also because of the things that I pack. It might not be because of the incident. Anyways, I had to get a diplomatic visa stamp in Morocco because I was on a trip with a friend and he passed out and went missing on the airplane, and then they emergency landed the plane in Rabat instead of Marrakesh.
How do you go missing on a plane? I mean, it's not like there's many places to
Well,
hide.
it's like that movie, like Snakes on a Plane. Like,
Yeah.
so he went up to go to the bathroom, and I was like, "Oh, it's taking him a really long time." I didn't actually know him very well at the time, and he just like went missing. And the flight attendant was going around doing drinks, and she was like, "Yo, your friend has been gone for like 45 minutes. Like, do you know where he is?" And I was like, "I thought he went to the bathroom." And she's like, "We've just checked all the bathrooms and they're all green. Like, they all say that they're unoccupied." And she's like, "Yeah, also the seatbelt sign thing was on or something." And she's like, "We need to find him so he can return to his seat." Anyways, it turns out he passed out in the bathroom while he was unlocking it. So that's why it said unoccupied. Like they didn't actually open the doors, and he was passed out on the floor. Um, and I was like, they're like, "Do you know, does he have any medical conditions or anything?" I was like, "I just met him last month. I don't know." And like we like dragged him out of the bathroom, and the back row like got up and we laid him down there. And then the crew person was like, "Is there anyone on the plane who's a doctor?" And somebody, sure enough, was like, "I'm a doctor," and they were German and
They
whatever.
would be German.
You what?
They would be German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they and he yeah, he kind of like came to. And anyways, we were the first ones off the plane. They grabbed our suitcases because we only had checked baggage, and there was an ambulance there waiting for us in Rabat. And was it Rabat? Yeah, I think it was Rabat. And we shot to the hospital, and they stamped our passports with diplomatic stamps. so that we could
Nice.
bypass security. But we were in the hospital, Opie, and it was bad. I said to my friend, I was like, don't, no, no, don't let them stick anything in your arm, because I was like looking around, there was like dirty needles, like the IV thing had a, like, it looked like a dirty needle on it. Like it wasn't even like, sterilized wrapped. Like they were just about to like just shove that in his arm.
Shit.
And I was like, no, no, no. And he refused treatment. He got up and he walked out, and the guy kept yelling at us that we had to pay a bill. We had to pay something for the ambulance. And he was like, "You have my passport number. You can find me." We just left. It was
Shit.
bad. Nobody
What
ever
was
came
actually
back
wrong
from
with him? Did
what?
he find out? Did he find out the cause of it?
Yeah. Let's just say certain medications shouldn't be taken when you're in high elevation.
Okay.
Like you're up in the altitude, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that happens to
Yeah.
people.
Messes with the equilibrium and all that. Okay.
Yeah, so that's what happened there. Man, we haven't even talked about Lego yet.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. There's one more thing I particularly want to talk to you about.
Okay. Yeah.
Because about your time in the UK, because we've talked about this very briefly, and we've kind of said we'll save it for now. But you, I know, are a massive QI fan.
Oh yes, yes, I love QI. Oh my
And I
gosh.
know you love like Sandy.
Mhm.
Stephen Fry is brilliant, but I love Sandy Toksvig.
I like Sandy
Uh,
too, but I haven't like watched it recently. But QI, I love it because you just learn so much useless information. So great.
Great for pub quizzes,
Mm-hmm.
so great for a quiz. But I also find like they answer questions that nobody's asking, and then all of a sudden you're like, "That's good to know."
Yeah.
The one thing I learned from QI that will always stick with me though, and I only learned this probably 3 or 4 months ago, and I thought, right, I'll make a mental note of this for when we talk, because I knew at that point you were a QI fan. You
Mm.
know how Brits always give Americans the stick over, like you can't say words probably like aluminum and we say aluminium, and
Yeah.
there's a
Why is
few,
that?
well, everybody's always like, so the Brits always say to the Americans like, why have you ruined our language, sort of thing. But apparently, according to QI, so it's fact, um we did speak like that. That's what we said about the time that Brits colonized America, and they took the language with them, and then obviously our language changed here. So in some regards, the Americans are the more traditional English language.
Well, I've heard that too, that the people from Boston, that Boston accent is actually what,
Like Brits of old.
yeah, like
Yeah.
old British English was like. There's combinations of it. Like, and I forget what dialect it is, because when I took linguistics, they talked about that a lot. Like it was like Boston, like in the Massachusetts region or whatever. And then also Appalachia, their dialect is similar to Old Scottish.
Where's Appalachia?
Yeah, Appalachia is like right along the Ohio River in West Virginia. That their
Okay.
dialect is Old Scottish, and they have a lot of like folk songs that are the same as Scottish folk songs, because a lot of people from Scotland immigrated to that area.
Yeah, well, if you've did you go to Scotland when you were in the UK? Did you go to
Hmm.
Edinburgh? Like Edinburgh is full of Americans who are like, my ancestors are from here, and we're all like, so like, but obviously we forget that you guys, your history as a country is like 300 years old.
Yeah, we don't have very much.
Like, yeah, which is obviously is what it is, isn't it? Like that's when it was founded. But like yesterday, I was at Durham Cathedral, so the home of Hogwarts or parts of Hogwarts,
I hate you.
and I know,
I've been
I know
there
you've been,
before, but
you have been.
you live right there to go there all the time.
I do, right? So it would take me 10 to 15 minutes to get there. So drive, park up, walk up, 10 to 15 minutes. Yesterday was the first time I've been in about 30 years. So I've never actually been to Durham Cathedral in the
You just walk
post
by
Harry
it.
Potter world. Well, it's because it's up on the hill, isn't it? And I go to Durham all of the time. Um, like my cinema, so I've got one of those like unlimited cards for the cinema. Um, but yeah, it's like right next to it. It overlooks it all. Absolutely love it, but just never thought to go there. But my little sister, so I have an 11-year-old sister,
Hmm.
who was mad about Harry Potter. It was her birthday earlier this month. Um, so I was like, well, let's go and have a bit of a Harry Potter day. So Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, not the Sorcerer's Stone, the Philosopher's Stone. It's 20 years old at the cinema, so they replayed it. So yeah, went to do that. So went to Durham Cathedral for the first, showed her the Harry Potter stuff. Then we went to see Harry Potter. What a day! What a day!
I love Harry Potter. You know that. I mean, the sad thing is that I haven't like watched the movies recently, but I just found my hard drive full of movies and stuff, and I think it's about time. It's Harry Potter season, everyone.
Well, it is. It is 20 years, so you
It's
may see it kicking
crazy.
around. I know. I
Um,
know.
yeah, that's awesome, and that's really cool that you did that for your sister.
The best part about it was at the end. So I don't know if you can see it on the TikTok that I made, and I posted it on Reels and Shorts as well. But they made a little stop motion that was about a minute long
Oh, out of
out of
Lego.
Lego. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
it
saw
it
that.
had like a little feature in, like a little 10 seconds from each of the 8 movies, which was really cool. But yes, for her birthday, I bought her the Polyjuice Potion set. So that she's never kind of collected Lego before. She's mad about Harry Potter now. So now she's like, so she says, yeah, I'm going to get some Lego for Christmas. So
Oh
I think she's getting the
yes,
watch. Is it the watchtower she's getting for Christmas? So I thought, well, I'll kind of get in there first. And I got her the Polyjuice Potion set. And obviously for Christmas, I'll get her some other stuff as well.
that's really cool. Yeah, all
Are
of them.
you Are you more of a Harry Potter fan or more of a Harry Potter Lego fan? Because I know you have and have had a lot of Harry Potter Lego.
I think it's both. It's both because I grew up with the books. I
Mhm.
grew up with Harry essentially. So the
Yeah,
first book came out when I was 10, and then from then on, they came out in the years. Like when Harry turned 15, I was 15 with him. When Harry turned 17, I was 17 with him. So it was like I grew up
oh,
with
that's
with him
cool.
like that, and yeah, and then the movies were great. And the thing that I remember about like Harry Potter Lego is that like my brother got the Hogwarts Castle in 2001, which I have it kind of it's missing some pieces, but I have the instructions and stuff. And I remember thinking like it was so cool. Like the instructions were like this big, and it looks like parchment paper. Like it looks like you're using a spell book to build this Harry Potter set.
Cool.
Um, And I just remember thinking it was so cool, and I didn't get the Harry Potter Lego as a kid. So now I'm an adult. I'm gonna get all the Harry Potter Lego I want. I got
It
some.
feels like
Yeah.
Lego are going all in on Harry Potter at the minute, aren't they? They're like, I know they're recreating a lot of sets, but they're making a lot more of the display sets, like the books, the forks, the Hedwig. They've done
Hmm.
the castle again.
I'm
What's kind of
disappointed.
having grown? Okay, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. But do you know what I mean? Like the display sets are cool, but it doesn't allow for one to use their own imagination and make something, right? If you look at all the old Harry Potter sets from like 2001 to 2000, I would say even 8, there was different alternative builds and things that you could do and mash them around. And so, I mean, the one Harry Potter set that I think is pretty cool that came out this year, the Chamber of Secrets, the Polyjuice Potion, like all those ones that could
Yeah.
like interchange into it. So it's allowing kids to like pull it apart and mash it together, but it still doesn't show ideas to make your own thing on the inside, right? I don't know. And
Yeah.
and and
No, I
then
get.
and then I'm being a hypocrite in a way because I haven't actually built anything of my own in a couple of months now. I mean, I have, but they're small things, and there's all these things that I want to build, but I haven't actually sat down and done it yet. So
So would you say at your core and your heart, you're it almost like a Lego traditionalist. So what you want is just a pile of bricks, be inspired,
Go
crack
for
on,
it. Hmm.
and then obviously what we've seen in the series that I love of yours is obviously technique a week. Um, so you have like in your head and at your disposal the ability to kind of create like on the spot.
Hmm.
So for you, you would rather kind of look at that and go, right, crack on. Do you ever do that with when you buy a set, when you buy like a boxed set? Do you ever look at it and think, I can do this better and
Yeah,
enhance it? Or
I have, and I haven't actually done it yet. So that's the thing. That's the other thing. I'm just like, I have all these ideas and just not enough time anymore now that I have a full-time job and life is happening, you know? But one of the sets that I thought about then I was like, is the Privet Drive set.
yeah, because are there two of those?
I don't know.
There's a more recent one, isn't there? And then
Yeah,
isn't there an original one?
maybe there is there is, I think there might be an original one, but I don't recall it. Yeah, I am a Harry Potter fan and a Harry Potter Lego fan, but I don't know everything. But the new one that they came out with, I was like, this could be done just a little differently. But the piece count and everything was great on it. It's just I could see why people were disappointed when they built it and they paid $70 for it, right? I don't know. So I thought it would be cool to do that one more of like a Polly Pocket house, like where it opens and then
Yeah.
closes.
Is that what they've done
Um,
with the Home Alone house?
they made the
Yeah,
Home Alone house like a Polly Pocket.
yeah. Polly
Um,
Pocket. That goes back years.
I know. Some people are probably like, "What is Polly Pocket?" If you guys don't know what a Polly Pocket is, look it up.
So we
They were
had
really fun.
the girls traditionally had Polly Pocket and the boys had, was it Mighty Max or Mighty Max, I think it
I think it
was.
was Mighty Max.
Yeah. I was going to say Mad Max, but that was a different thing.
Mm.
Um, but yeah,
Um,
it's, what are your thoughts on the Home Alone house, by the way? Are you a Home Alone fan?
Not really a Home Alone fan, but I'm definitely a fan of that house. Like, that would be a really cool thing to like have in a city build.
Yes. Yeah. Do you
But
look at that though and think, is that not one of, because I look at it and I think it's cool that we've got the whole Home Alone house because it's iconic. But
mm,
do you not look at that and think, I could do that better? Like it, even I look at that and think that could be better because it feels quite narrow, like depth wise.
it is narrow depth wise, and also I think honestly, I mean, it would look cool in a city layout, but it would need tweaking because you got all these modulars, and it looks to me like this is like a 3-4 house, 2 or 3 floor house, and it looks like it's going to be the same height as some of these apartment modulars. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I think it would be, yeah, you're right. I think it would be better if it was just like more boxy. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I suppose we'll see. I mean, it's out there. It's some of the land
It's
guys have
coming
already
out
got it.
tomorrow, right?
Oh, is it
November
tomorrow?
1st.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think it's, yes, tomorrow. God, all these sets are dropping tomorrow too. There's also the the oh,
The Harry
Queer
Potter
Eye for
stuff.
a Straight Guy.
Yeah, the apartment thing.
I was thinking about getting that one.
I feel like that's such a strange set for Lego to make. Like, is it a follow up on the
It's a
Everyone is
follow-up on
Awesome?
the yeah, I think it's a follow-up on the Everything is Awesome. But it is strange because when I told my mom this set was coming out, and I was like, "Yeah, so Pam, no, Tan, sorry, the one of the guys on the show has this cool swoopy hair, and they it was a new mold on the Everything is Awesome set. The guy who's blue has like this swoop hair.
Okay, yeah,
That's a new hair piece or something like that." And I was like, "That looks like Tan," and that was Lego's hint that they were going to be putting out this set. Um,
right.
so then the set is out, but it's just like it's weird because it's such niche market. It's like everything is awesome set fits a lot of things, but like the queer for a straight guy thing, like
I feel like because up until then we had Friends and Big Bang Theory, so two iconic shows of their generation.
mhm,
I remember Queer Eye being fairly popular. Now, obviously, I'm looking at it through a British eyes of somebody who was not their target market, but I remember my mum loving it.
mhm.
Uh, but the first time it was around, I wouldn't have put it at that level, but not many shows would. So does it then? And we've now seen The Office, and I think the US Office is probably very, very popular in the US, but not as popular here in the UK. But a lot of the time, the US market dictates these things. But does it open the door for kind of lesser shows as such? Are we going to see kind of that, not that kind of penthouse tier show? We're kind of going to get more into the mass market, and where does it end?
Yeah, I don't know because these apartment vignettes, I mean, they're like kind of cool, but also like in a display standpoint or in a practicality, like I don't know. It's it's I don't know, it's small, it's weird. It just looks weird to me. Displaying it looks weird. Like the friend set looks weird.
Yeah, they're very much build, put on a shelf set, aren't they? You don't do anything with them.
Yeah, and
Um,
it was kind of like just I don't know. The friend set. I have an idea to. I saw some guy. There's some YouTuber out there who takes sets and he turns them into modulars, and he took two friend sets and he made a beautiful apartment modular with it. And
cool.
so I was like, okay. Oh, I think his show is called Can You Modular? I think that's what it's called. I think that's what it's literally called. And he made a beautiful modular from two friend sets, so I bought two. And I thought to myself, and one day I'm gonna just lay them all out and I'm just gonna like this is another one of those projects. Do you see my project list just getting like bigger and
Yeah,
bigger? And why I never can seem to catch up? I mean, if I didn't have TikTok, I think I could have accomplished a lot of these things, but I also really like TikTok.
yeah, it's all
So
right, isn't it? It's all right. It's the two go well together, but the balance is sometimes
the
quite hard,
balance is
especially
hard.
I feel like everybody's been feeling it the last 6 months as well. It's just been a weird, like last year was a great year to get on board. This year is a bit of a juggling act, and the world thinks it's getting back to normal, but it's
And
kind
it's
of not.
not. It's not.
No, no, it's definitely not. But on the TV movie sets, is do you have a dream set? And now, not so much as it doesn't necessarily have to be a set, but is there a TV show or a movie out there that you would love to see made into QI,
Um,
QI Lego set?
QI
That
would
would
be a good
work.
one, but it would only be good for the UK. Like nobody in America knows what QI is. Like I was having a conversation with someone. I was like, "Oh yeah, this is great. Oh look, there's my blind cat. Can you see her?" Having
Yes.
this great, great quiz show, and they're like, "What? Like what are you talking about?" Like, nobody gets it. Um, Honestly, if Lego had been bigger in the mid '90s, on doing these TV show things, like they would have done, I think, really well with the X Files. I think they really would have, because you got
Yeah.
so many different things you could cover there. You got aliens, you got monsters, you got like cool, I don't know, like science laboratory scenes.
We could
There's
do that basement office as well, which
the
was really
basement.
iconic. Yeah.
Yeah. Basement office. You could do the FBI building. You could so many things. Huh.
That would be really cool. I've never seen that one mentioned before, and that would be really cool.
That would be a cool one. When they did the movie, The Fight for the Future, they could have had the cop car scene when they're trying to do the get rid of the bomb. But then again, also it's the violence. I could see that one being. But then again, like, why is Marvel allowed? Like why are the superheroes allowed and Star Wars?
Disney. Disney can
Eh,
do whatever they want.
yeah,
That's
whatever.
basically it. But No, I think there's you know what? Maybe it will. Maybe we will get Mulder and Scully one off in their office. I'd buy that.
I
I'd buy
tried to
that for
make it
sure.
myself. Did you ever see that?
No, I didn't.
Really? Hold on. You pause 1 second. I still have it.
Okay.
So, our friend Brick Pit was asked the same question to me, and then I said, "Okay, give me like a couple of days, and I'll make it." So I made it. Well, here's Mulder. I didn't have any Scully hair, but there's Mulder. He's got like a little
Yeah,
briefcase
yeah,
with
like that
suit.
one. Like it.
And then this is his office. So I made, like in the show, there's like
Yeah.
and here's his file cabinets. And in the one file cabinet, let's see if we can get it out. It's it's an alien head. And there's like weird stuff in there. So, and he's got like the mummy and the rune thing. Anyways, I think it would be really good. It would be a good one.
Would
But
you would you ever consider completing that to the point where you could submit it as an idea set?
no, because I think it's already been submitted as an idea set.
Okay. Okay.
I think someone said that it's been done, and I don't want to do the whole pressure of the idea sex. I don't think I would have. I mean, I don't think that enough people would support it. I don't know. Well, maybe I shouldn't
I
doubt
don't know.
myself. I guess you never know.
No, I don't
Like,
think you should. Like, it doesn't. The way I would look at it, Maddie, is it doesn't matter if it's approved or not. It'd be
mhm,
pretty cool to get something to the point where you think,
it would
I'm ready
be.
to submit this. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's this I feel is worthy of submission. And as I said earlier, your understanding of Lego is at a level that I would think will allow you to get a build to that far. So don't hold yourself back.
Oh, thanks. That's a huge compliment. Because I've been my brother. I don't know if you know this, but I got my brother back into Lego, and he's always been the builder in the family, right? And his builds are just insane. He just built an anglerfish. He's working on a giant tree, like all these different things. But you know what? I hype him up, and he doesn't ever post anything, right? But
Okay.
whenever we talk, I always feel like, oh, my builds are not as good as his. But so I appreciate the compliment. Thank you. That's I
It's
guess what
all
I'm
about
trying
the
to
eye
say.
of the eye of the beholder, though, isn't it?
It's
Because
all about the
although
eye of the beholder.
like a fish or like a tree and stuff, yeah, it could be really cool. But if you're someone like me, I always say this: I'm more of a Star Wars fan than I am a Lego fan.
Hmm.
But that's not to say I'm not a Lego fan. But that what that means is I don't have that same viewpoint of Lego that you have. Like I love to specifically create kind of what's there. Now I also get very frustrated that what Lego give us isn't what how I see it from the movies and from the
Oh,
shows.
right.
It could be a lot better, but I'm not a creative design person. Like I'm very analytical, I'm very numbers driven. So it's very different for me. But when I look at like see something like your brother's done, I would appreciate that it's a great build.
Hmm.
But then I'd probably walk away and forget about it because it doesn't resonate with me. But when I look at something that you've made like that, the X Files, because I used to love the X Files,
Right.
I'd be like, oh yeah, like Maddie made that, didn't she? Like that would always stick with me. So and there'll be people on the other side as well, but I just think it's all relevant really, isn't it? So it's kind of what, eye of the beholder and all that. But yeah, I just think you've got the skills, gal. Why not
You gotta go do it.
just do it? But
Um,
but obviously, as you see it, time is obviously the biggest killer, isn't it?
Time is
So
the of the essence because you've seen that apartment build I've done, and did like TikTok
yeah,
videos on it where I did it in like a day, where I sat down and I had the idea in my head. I sat there and I built it. I have a problem completing, like, I have to focus and do it all in one day and finish it. And if I don't, then it never gets finished. Like,
yeah,
for example, this work in progress has been sitting here for over a month, right? It's
I
got
love the work
detail.
in progress
It's
label on it.
great, but for a month it's been sitting there because I worked on it and then I got distracted and something happened and I had to go do something. Oh, here's the window that was going to go at the top, and I just like now it's just been sitting there not completed. I have so many projects like that, and it's just like finding the time. For me, I just need to do it all in one day, and that's bad.
Did
So,
you did you take your Lego hobby around the world with you when you traveled around
oh
Europe and
no, no,
China?
no,
No?
no. I didn't start Legoing like this until I came home from the pandemic.
Also, it's like
This
last
is
year.
new. This is
Oh,
brand new hobby. I pulled out the Lego at the end of February 2020 because, I didn't have a job. I was at home with my two brothers and my dad, and I was like, and my mom was like, "You guys are just sitting around doing nothing. You could be doing something." And I was like, "Where's the Lego at? Let's go through all the Lego." So we went through all the Lego. We cleaned, we washed it, we sorted it, and we just would sit there in the living room and build together. And like I built cathedral after cathedral. I built so many different things like that. And my brother would build like ships and stuff. And my dad would just build like whatever. He just built like some crazy stuff. But yeah, and that's when it started. And then my mom was like, "Oh yeah, we have your cousin's Lego here too." Because he didn't want it anymore. And that's how I got all those minifigs. You remember the video that I reposted the other day? All those Star Wars minifigs were a
the
combination
Captain
of my
Rex one.
cousins. Hmm?
Was that the infamous Captain Rex video?
No, not that one.
No, that one.
Um, but yeah, there's that. And yeah, so he gave his collection to us. And so I went through all of that. And then I pulled apart every single set that was put together, including like a Millennium Falcon and some other rare sets or something like that. And then afterwards, I realized if I would have left those Star Wars sets together or the Lord of the Rings sets that he had together, and
Yeah,
I
they're
would have
good.
made
Yeah.
some bank. Also, I had some Lord of the Rings minifigures that I didn't know about, and I gave them away to someone, and
Oh.
they probably know who they are. And if you know who you are, you should probably send me some money for those,
Or send the figures back.
or send the figures back. And yeah, Opie one. Yeah, yeah. I think you might know him. So I was
Oh,
like,
we'll talk offline. We'll talk.
um,
You've been warned. The next time she's
no,
on,
I'm
if
just
you
kidding.
haven't sent anything, you will be named
Um,
and shamed.
yeah.
Um, so how did you end up, considering that was obviously only last year? How did you then end up on TikTok and Brick and Mad? Like, how did that all come around?
Mm, so actually, I'm trying to think about how this happened. Oh, my sister's on TikTok. And so at the time, her TikTok was like 20,000 followers, and she was like getting paid a bunch of money and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was like, you know what? And then I got into the Lego TikTok because my brother was like, oh, you can find ideas on Instagram or TikTok. And so I posted some pretty lame videos. Yeah, we're coming up on my like 1 year TikTok anniversary, I think. And they were just like of me doing speed builds. I think like everyone does the speed build thing,
Yeah.
and they do like bad speed builds, like whatever. And then so here are my dedicated followers that have been following me since I probably had 100 people. Brick Blaze, Brick Pit, and um oh, I can't remember the other one. Bricksmith came later. Oh, there's someone else. Oh, Mrs. Madrigal. Does Mrs. Madrigal follow you?
Not that I know of.
I
It's
don't know who this person is, but they don't post any videos and there's no picture for their profile picture. But they've been following me since I've had like 50 followers.
that's cool.
It might be someone I know,
Do
but
they
I don't
still
know.
interact?
Hmm?
Do they still interact? Like
Yeah, we still
comment
interact.
stuff?
Like they comment on
That's
my stuff
cool.
all the time, and they send me private messages. Um, it's really weird. So yeah, so the TikTok thing didn't start happening. I think I started because of my sister. And then when I got onto TikTok, that's how I met Brickblaze, and then that's how I got onto YouTube. I started. He invited me to YouTube Live, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like we can talk
Yeah,
Lego. And then they were all really impressed with the crap that I was building, and they were like, "Where have you been? When did you start?" And I was like, "I only started building Lego like 3 months ago." They're like, "What?" You know. Um, and then it just kind of exploded. Yeah. And then I met Maddicus. Maddicus and I, we were at the same number of followers. Like I think we both were at 6,000. And I
yeah.
remember he messaged me and was like, "How can I get more followers and stuff?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then he just exploded.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, his Lego Avengers Tower has done him very well, but at the
It,
same time, like that thing is a labor of love for him. So
yeah, but at the same time, like, Maticus and I talk like on the regular every day. We're friends. And
yeah,
if he's watching this, I hope he doesn't take this the wrong way. But there are so many people who've built the Avengers Tower like in that scale. There are. You Google it, it's there. But Maticus's, I have to say, like you can tell how like passionate he is about it and to the finest detail. Like some of them aren't
yeah.
as detailed as what Maticus has made. So there you go. But so that's why I was like, okay, it's interesting, like what trends on TikTok. Because I thought, because my brother was coaching me with TikTok for a bit, and he was like, I think your TikTok would do great because you have like a unique value or a uniqueness to Lego. But then what I was realizing is that people who are into Lego TikTok don't care about that. They don't care about the techniques. They don't really. I mean, there are people who do, but they don't care about the techniques. They don't care about this. What they do care about is your haul. Like, what did you just buy or purchase or spend money on? And I was like, oh, for a time I got stuck in that trap. And they care about the biggest Lego set you have or the biggest mock that you've made. Um, and what was the other thing? Oh, like what theme you're into, right? So that's my favorite one is like push people's buttons, right? And be like, oh, I actually know the character. Like when I was like, I don't know who this guy is, or it's a clone trooper when it's actually a stormtrooper, like
Yeah.
I know that. I know the basics, right? But it really pushes people's buttons when you call something the incorrect thing. So,
Oh, 100%. Like for a long time, I haven't done it in a while. I should bring it back. But whenever I displayed a Lego piece, Lego set or something, I would always do like a subtle mistake. So it would be like having the lightsaber hilt the wrong way around, or
right.
um, there's a couple of things that I, like R2D2, like would have, like R2's head comes off, and it's very
Mm.
similar on either side. I would point that the wrong way, and people were like, "Dude, like R2's head's on the wrong way. You do know that R2's head's on," and I'd be like, "I don't understand. Like, how is it on the wrong way? It's not on the wrong way." But obviously, it's just like, and I haven't done that for so long. But do you ever? Approaching your 1 year anniversary, do you ever go back and watch your early videos, especially your early videos that did
Oh,
well?
I do. There's one video, and I'm actually thinking about reposting it. Where
So
when
don't just recreate.
you think I should recreate it?
Yeah,
Okay,
because
I'll recreate
that,
it.
that's where I'm
Um,
at right now. Because I'm looking at like this time last year when I got on, and I had videos do like with less than 1,000 followers doing like 20,000 views, which was like amazing. And like now I look back and think, oh yeah, 20,000 views is good. But actually, when you look at it in context, it was brilliant. But actually, it achieved everything that I always wanted to achieve, like being that kind of informative person, relevant to to my knowledge. But I'm not going to repost that. But actually, I can recreate it, and it's something I can do again.
actually,
So
maybe
definitely,
yeah, maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll recreate this one. But it's the I remember filming it, and I had such a blast. Um, I like had like a little I with my Lego bandana and like made myself look like a ninja and I was like cha cha rate the pain and like I stepped on a whole bunch of Lego bricks. That was my first video that reached over 200,000 views and I
nice.
think I was at like 9,000 followers when that happened.
Yeah, like maybe that's what you do for your 1 year anniversary. Is like do my like favorite like best hits and all that, but recreating. But
Yeah,
yeah, I just think
the stop motion ones too. Did you ever see any of my stop motions?
I did. Yeah,
Not
I
this, no,
did.
not the stop motion. Sorry, retelling
The
a story. It seemed like a stop motion, but it was actually being filmed.
yeah, yeah.
Those ones, I, I crack up every time I watch the one of my brother eating the when he ate the Lego piece because that actually did happen. Like that was a all of those stories are true. The blue cake story one is also another one that cracks me up. I mean, more or less, and maybe you agree with me, but TikTok was like a thing for me to kind of like cope with the pandemic and also make me
Yeah.
laugh. So like I'm laughing at my own self when I see the videos that I've created. Like,
Mhm. Yeah, like I would never have envisaged. Like I had my 1 year anniversary like less than a month ago, and I would never have thought I'd be here where I am now. And I think sometimes we forget that. And
mhm.
I'm like super happy with everything I've done, and just want to like continue to move forward and just chip away at it and enjoy it all. But yeah, it's super. One thing I will say though, I although your comment on around what people want and kind of what's your biggest set and what's your haul, whilst I agree that appears to be true. I do think that's the noisy minority. There's a lot of people, as you see, who sit in the background who you never interact with, but they're watching. And I think, I've mentioned this to you before, but I'm a big fan of your technique week. And what I think does really well there is it's visually pleasing. And I think TikTok does well on things that are visually pleasing. Now, that can obviously span a wide net. But speaking of the word net, obviously that you used the Lego net with the different bricks. And I think you started it by doing the whole bendy thing.
Yeah.
And that was like a big hidden video for you. But like that worked very, very well. But I've
Yeah.
seen you use your other techniques in your
Um,
builds, and again, things look a bit like your apartment looks really cool the way you build it out. So I think visually pleasing stuff actually counts for more than what's your favorite theme, what's your favorite set. I think there's more value in that.
I think the what you just said about the technical week, actually a lot of those videos that I did do well. And I don't part of the reason why I stopped doing those, if you want my excuse for stop doing them, is they were so time consuming, Opie. Like, like researching a technique and then trying to get it to go together. But then it was also like a huge learning moment for me. And they are coming back because I have a technique that my
Good.
brother just sent me. And I was like, oh my God, if you bought any of those sheep from the Disney thing, like this technique is gonna just be perfect for those sheep because sheep need grass, right?
They
That's
need
all I'm going
grass.
to give you.
Okay.
It's a
I
technique
look
for
forward.
grass.
I
But
look forward
yeah,
to it.
um, I want to show you something that I got, and then I think this could be a good discussion point because I'm curious about your thoughts on this.
Okay, go for it.
Have you ever heard of Citizen Brick?
Oh, it doesn't ring a bell, but also doesn't sound widely unfamiliar.
They are a company that uses real Lego, and then they just like rubber stamp things on them. Like they'll buy like
Okay.
blank torsos and then just stamp them.
Yeah.
There's a couple companies that do it, but they usually just do it on like fake Lego or something. But this company, I found out about it through a TikToker named South Paul. Oh, you should follow them because this stuff is nuts. Like he's like a diehard Citizen Brick fan. But so then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like peruse and look. They put out limited quantities of custom figs, like once every 2 weeks. And so I got this one because I was perusing. Who is that?
Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
got like
love
a
it.
little printed guitar and everything. And so I was
Nice.
like, that is sick. They're a little bit pricey. It's $25, so it's a lot. But then you can also buy like weird pieces and parts.
Do
And
you will you open that? or will you keep that sealed?
Oh, I'm gonna open it up for sure.
Okay.
So I did do a video of the Citizen Brick, where they had the X Files series. There was like 4 minifigs for the X Files, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they had that. So I looked it up on eBay, and it was selling for $300. But they also printed like little Amazon boxes, and
That's
this is my
cool.
favorite. I got these little heads. One is a frowny face. I don't think Lego makes that, and then the other one is like a creeper head. It looks like a little
Love
creep.
it.
So, like, I mean, they're pretty cool, but do you would you consider this real Lego? I mean,
Yes,
it is real
if it
Lego.
has the Lego stamp, it's
Yep,
good enough for me.
it's Lego on it, but it's printed by non-Lego.
So
Yeah.
I'm not much of a fan of decaling, but typically because I find decaling tends to be done in the home, so it's quite clear that it's not printed. But looking at those, they look as good as if Lego had printed them themselves.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Is yeah, I read about this company. Oops, address Citizen Brick, and they said yeah that a lot of reviews on are people saying like it feels like Lego has printed it. Like it's not, like not misaligned. It's like aligned to Lego standards. It's kind of cool.
That is cool.
So,
Do you know, I find as well, especially with, I understand with the Kurt Cobain thing, because with Kurt Cobain, obviously there'll be licensing issues and all of
mhm.
that. I suppose it's true of Amazon, but Amazon's probably a lot easier to get over like, why do Lego not make them? Like, just make little accessory packs and,
Yeah.
just the,
Well, the other thing is, yeah, this company does a lot of things that Lego won't print. Like Scarface and
mhm.
Slipknot. I think they did Slipknot once, and just stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it could be a licensing issue, like getting the license and getting the permission from people to do that. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Are they US based, are they?
Yeah, they're US based, but they ship internationally. And today they're actually, I feel like I'm like selling them right now. Today they're actually having a Halloween special or something like that. There's like some
Okay.
Halloween minifigs that they've got out. Um, Kind of
They
weird.
could rival, they could absolutely rival like JB Brix's minifig series of how to make a custom. They'd just be like, print it, print it.
Yeah, yeah, they could. Um, yeah, they probably could work well together, honestly. He's doing the
Yeah.
custom, and then this company could just like pop out like a limited 100. But $25 though, I thought about it. I was like, oh my god, why is this? All their minifigures, like single mini custom, whatever, were $25, and if you wanted like the double pack, it was 50 or something like that. And the the other thing I have to say about this Kurt Cobain figure, which I thought was like super funny, is that the next day my sister got to see Dave Grohl. Like she was like standing outside of a restaurant waiting for him to come out, and then there's Dave Grohl, and I was like, "What the heck?" Like, it's so cool. It was
He's like the
quincy.
nicest guy in the world, Dave Grohl.
You've heard he's the nicest guy?
Yeah, I love like
Yeah,
Foo Fighters are my number one.
yeah.
I've seen them live like 3 times. Seen all the quite a few good documentaries about them that Dave Grohl features in on Netflix. Um, yeah, I love Dave Grohl. Love Dave Grohl.
I like him too. All of them are great. Oh, Spawn is here. Long time no
Spawn
see,
is
Spawn.
everywhere. Spawn is
Yeah.
everywhere. Yeah, he's always around. So what does the future hold for you with all of this mad world? Because obviously you've built a fantastic foundation on TikTok. You've started to dabble into YouTube with like Gals and Pals. Obviously, you're here tonight. You The one thing I would say is and I who was I saying this to the other week? I was saying, but you have Instagram, but I don't think you utilize Instagram fully. Whereas I think Instagram's made for you because a lot of your stuff is very photogenic.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I might change over to Instagram from TikTok, and this is why. TikTok is great. It's fun. It's quick. It's not quick. Like I don't know how you do your video editing, but I do all my video editing outside of the TikTok app.
I
And then
do everything in the app. Yeah.
and I started doing everything in the TikTok app to make it quicker, but I'm still but there's glitches, like stuff doesn't
Yeah.
line up and it's weird. So whatever. So but Instagram, that's where most of the Lego communities that I connect with the most is on there. Like all of the guys that I met on Old Bricks and Bricksmith's channel and Brickblaze's channel, they're all on Instagram, and
Yeah.
I neglect that. It's like also TikTok is just it's nice and there's a whole wide range of ages and stuff, but I'm getting tired of some of the negativity that's coming from the comments or like people not understanding the message or being offended or not, you know what I mean? Like it's delicate. So
Yeah. I feel like TikTok's changed a lot this year as well. Just TikTok, both as a platform but as an audience as well. I feel like TikTok itself is very much around monetizing, and what they want you to do is they want you to make them money.
yeah.
So it's like you've got to go live and you've got to get donations and all of that. And I'm like, I can't be bothered with that. I do enjoy the space, but it's almost like it's desens oh no, what's the right word? Like de-incentivizing
Yeah, well,
you by like not going live and
yeah, it
all of
does
that.
do that. And also, like, there's no clear ideas, like, why, when you're in the creator fund, like, why you get paid this amount. Like, I
Yeah.
noticed ever since I stopped posting 3 videos a day, because I used to post 3, 4, 5 videos a day. Ever since I stopped doing that, and I post like one every day or one every 2 days, that my creator fund has gone from like $1 a day to like 4 cents, 3 cents,
Yeah.
two
Yeah.
cents.
Yeah.
And even when you go live and you make donations, which is really awesome that we have that support and people are giving you donations and stuff. Come to find out, Moto, who was on Lego Masters,
Yes. Yeah.
Moto sent me a really large donation, and it turns out TikTok kept, I think it was like 75% of that donation.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
was 75%. And I was like, are you kidding? How does that
Yeah.
happen?
And this is the other thing with that. So if you're not going live often and people aren't donating to you often, basically TikTok will keep a bigger cut. But the more you're going live and the more people are donating, TikTok then thinks, like, we want to keep this person on the app, we want to keep them going live, so we'll allow them to keep more of those donations.
That makes
So,
sense.
and that's obviously why people don't donate money. What they do is they buy coins and diamonds or whatever, and then they
Yeah.
donate the diamonds because when there's not that direct correlation isn't exactly there, and you've got to kind of sit and think about it. But yeah, it sucks. It's
It really does suck. Because they don't tell you what they're keeping from what people donate to you. Because I have noticed, like, okay, like one time, yeah, there was like 100 diamonds. We'll just use an example. It was 100 diamonds, which equaled about like $2 or something. And then the next time I got 100 diamonds, it was like $5. And I was like, how are they deciding what you're monetarily getting? Um, it's just fine. Like again, TikTok was something that was supposed to be fun, and it is still fun. And I've stopped caring about the numbers because there was a chunk of time when Maddicus and I were just always caring about the numbers, and I think it doesn't matter anymore. Like I've got a good following. I've got a core set group of people that I enjoy sharing videos with and hearing from them, and I think that's all that matters. And now I'm going to focus more on building because I haven't been doing that. Yeah.
I would agree. and I would so I've started doing all of my live builds on here. So we can use, I know you're familiar with the software, so you can use this where you can have people dropping in, which is really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Um, you can, I use Streamlabs as well, which all the gamers use, so you can like really build your template. That's really cool. And a lot of people do say like, "Oh, I would prefer if you were on TikTok because I want to donate." But for me, I'm not. That's not why I'm here. Like, I'm more here for the conversation. I'm here for the community, and yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. But yeah, I think the worst thing about it is with the TikTok donations is like I'm not bothered. Like, I'm genuinely not bothered. And I always appreciate when anybody donates anything, but I genuinely don't need it, but it's that lack of transparency with the donator. Like, the donator thinks they're genuinely helping you out, but they don't realize that
They
like
don't
one.
realize it until they're in the fund. So when I talked to Moto about it, like, Moto was up and coming, trying to get the 10,000 followers and whatever. And then he's like, "Oh, I sent you this donation." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw that you sent me this donation over TikTok Live." And he was like, and I didn't understand, like, because he kept like dropping that it was like a significant amount. And then when I had checked the tick what I had actually made that night, I was like, no, it wasn't. And then that's when I realized myself too. I was like, oh my god, TikTok must be keeping a
Yeah,
whole lot of this. Like,
well, it pays the fund. It pays for the creator fund.
yeah,
So you think that money doesn't come from like nowhere. So yeah, it sucks. But at the same time, it's like TikTok is very active, so
yeah,
it's a funny one. But
it's
yeah,
addictive.
I do like Instagram, and people are always talking like Instagram's dying or it's dead. But yeah, I do you know I feel like so I've got like 10,000 on Instagram, and I've said this before, but 10,000 on Instagram against 50,000 on TikTok. The outside world seems to perceive 10,000 on Instagram as more valuable. But I think the tools as a creator, you see the tools that Instagram give you allow you to interact with to penetrate your following a lot easier and a lot better than you can TikTok. Like TikTok, it feels like potluck half of the time, whether you get the views or not. Whereas I think with
Right.
Instagram, it feels like you're more in control. Um,
Interesting. I'm going to look into it. Yeah, because I think what enticed me to try to grow on TikTok was the monetization, but there's more chances on Instagram to have companies like to work with companies. So my sister works with a lot of different companies on Instagram. And then she uses TikTok as a backup platform. So like she'll like um, market whatever is being sent to her on Instagram, and then she'll hit it on TikTok with a video.
mm,
Hmm. So I think it's interesting. Like, we
yeah,
talked about the light kit thing, right? And I got that light kit in the mail, and they basically reached out to me on Instagram. So I'm going to try to focus more of it on Instagram. I'm going to do my sister's approach, Instagram it, and then do a TikTok. But my
you know what you need.
Instagram. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What you need to do, and I did this, and this is what got me to 10K, is you should be posting every TikTok as a reel, especially if you're creating outside of the app within like a third party app. You
Hmm.
need to be posting everything on Instagram on Reels without the TikTok watermark, and that will boost your community on Instagram as well.
Hmm. I'll definitely give it a try.
Because what you're on now, 400 odd followers on Instagram.
Yeah, I think I have like
Tomorrow's,
it's not too many. Let me see. I mean, it's more than my private Instagram account.
oh yeah, I've got
you
like
know.
less than 100 followers on my private Instagram account, but we're not chasing the dream there. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think tomorrow's the 1st of November. If you were to post your TikToks as reels every day, I think by Christmas you would have around 2,000 Instagram followers at least.
You think so?
Yeah, There's a challenge set for you, Maddie.
All right, that's a challenge. I think I accept that challenge. I think I need to figure out how to make a reel first.
It's so make the video as you make a TikTok, and then when you go to
Yeah.
upload a post on Instagram, you just click Reels, click in your library, and
Oh,
then
okay.
post from there. It's
I
nice and simple.
see.
Nice and simple. People love it. But
I
yeah, and do you know I find as well my crossover between Instagram and TikTok is actually really small. Um,
So you have two
I
separate communities?
pretty much, yeah, I would say I only notice about 50 people that are on both, that are active on both. Now there quite likely be more, but yeah, it's it's very different communities. But Reels will give you that because Reels reaches out to people who you're not actively like working with on Instagram. So give it a go, get it done.
I'll give it a
But yeah,
go. Yeah.
but what does the future hold for you, Maddie? What do you want to do with all this Lego stuff? What do you want to do with TikTok, Instagram? Yeah, what would you like to take out of all of that?
Well, I want to be on Lego Masters one day. That's something
Okay,
I want to do, but I've been trying to my brother and I applied for the show. We for second season, and they liked us and stuff, but we didn't make it. Um So that would be the goal. Like my brother is really a creative mind, and I know that you haven't seen his stuff, but he's actually working on building large scale stuff to get like ready for doing Lego Masters. But he's saying that he doesn't want to do it, I think, anymore. But I think I can change his mind. I'm pretty persuasive. But I would really want to do Lego Masters, and I know I need to do some more building and practicing before we can get to that step.
okay. So here's a question: who from the Lego, let's say TikTok world community, would you want to partner up with if your brother wouldn't go on Lego
Maticus.
Masters with Madagas?
Yeah, we talked about it actually once. I said I would think we would work pretty well together. Like I don't know, but I think he would be more of like the technical and bigger style builds and stuff like that. I don't know. I haven't seen him do like anything with like animals or that kind of thing.
It took him several years to build that Avengers Tower,
I
though.
know, and yeah, I know.
Like
The other thing is that he's like took
you've
a
got
long
like
time
hours, not
to build.
years. So
Um, I would work with him, but I would rather work with my brother because he does, I would say I would consider my brother a master builder. Again, I'm like putting him up on this huge pedestal, but he can do houses, he can do vehicles, he can do animals, he's everything. But his brain is just like so like scattered and all over the place
yeah,
that he needs someone to hone him in, right? And so I wouldn't mind him telling me what to do. Like he has the vision, but then I'd be like, okay, bro, like this is no, we can't like go over to the left with this. Like maybe actually we should try it this way. And then he's agreed with me that we would work pretty well together.
and I feel like it's been brother and sister as well. There
Well,
is
I'm the big
more,
sister. He's the younger
but
brother. But
but
yeah, I know what you're saying.
it gives you that tolerance to
Mhm.
fall out and make up very quickly.
Yes.
Whereas when you're like friends, you you're more mindful of saying the wrong thing and upsetting each other and then almost blowing your top. And then that kind of whole healing
Mhm.
process takes a couple of hours. Whereas brother and sister, it's like 10
Minutes.
minutes have gone, yeah, and you're like fuck it, like come
Well,
on, like let's go, like we need to do this. So yeah, it's there would be no beating that,
they
I'm sure.
season 2 in America, really quick, they were talking about like needing drama for the show, and like it was a little bit boring kind of because there wasn't that kind of drama. Like him and I would bring the drama. I'm just saying that if anyone from Lego Masters is watching, like we get mad at each other. I mean, like siblings do, but then we're just like, okay, okay,
Exactly.
okay, like let's figure it out. And like you can get snarky, right? But
Do you know the thing is though, you need to get on soon because I don't know what it's like over there, but everything in the UK now, like all reality programs revolve around dating. So, like, at what point does it become like Lego Master Dating, or like it just, yeah, it
Well,
sucks.
yeah, we'll see. Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to see you on there. So hopefully, we'll see you on. I know you've got your YouTube channel as well, and you had Gals and Pals, and then kind of life took over for a bit.
Oh
Do
yeah.
you expect to bring Gals and Pals back, or are you kind of coming back to YouTube in a different way, or is it just totally off your radar at the minute?
The problem with Gals and Pals is with my new job, I don't have the same days off. You
Yeah,
know, like when we were talking about getting me on this show for Sunday, it happened to be that something happened where my schedule changed and then I have Sunday off. So I don't have like that stable day off anymore. Um, I mean, no, it doesn't mean and then you would be like, "Oh, then why can't you just do the show after work?" Well, I also don't have stable shifts. So like some weeks I'm working, first and second shift, some weeks I'm working third and second shift. Like so it's always changing. So I wouldn't be able to provide a stable um YouTube live,
yeah,
if that makes
yeah.
sense. So I decided that if it ever happens where I do have a stable day off, then that would come back for sure. So I just try to do the TikTok lives every once in a while. And YouTube, I thought about doing like longer YouTube videos, but then I was like, oh, the video editing and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff. Like I
yeah.
don't have the time for that.
So I'm going to, which is going to take me forever, but as I said at the beginning, I bought this and it's very yellow. Um, you can't really see it because the light's bouncing off it, making it a little bit white,
Mm.
but it's very yellow. But I'm going to do a series on my YouTube or one video, but over a specific period of time, where I'll use the hydrogen peroxide
Oh yeah,
and kind of show that. So show that process. But um, yeah, it's the editing that goes into it.
yeah.
Like I do feel motivated to make a video, but I never feel motivated to then sit and
Edit.
edit and post the video. So I've got loads of content in mind, but I'm like, nah, can't be asked. Can't be
That's the
asked.
problem. It's the time.
But what I would say, so I've gone through everything you said about the fixed time, and I've always tried to keep it to like this Sunday evening slot. And then last week we did Saturday, and then I've started using my community posts on here to kind of feel it out a little bit. And then obviously we have the kind of US UK time difference for us.
Mhm.
So if I go through the week, it's like kind of work time for people, but I do have a lot of UK and European followers. So it's then okay, like TikTok lives always do better through the week because everybody kind of, what do people do on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night? Tend to come home, have their dinner, sit on TikTok for hours upon end. So
Yeah.
I do think I'm going to explore that option of doing, certainly with UK European creators, like just being a bit more fluid, but with plenty of notice. Because what I do find as well, there is a core following watch live, but it's amazing how many people will come back over the following week and watch. Um, so, and people watch it their own way. I watch a lot of people, like, I watch
Yeah.
Gals and Pals. I would quite often wait until the Monday and I would watch because we're quite busy on a weekend. So it's, just do it. If it's what you want to do it for you and get it out there. Get
Yep.
yourself out there. But
That's good
yeah,
life advice. Yeah. Yep. You do you. And yeah, I think it's like also the motivation thing too. Like what is the motivation behind what it is you're doing? Like why are
yeah.
you doing it? So I had to think about that a lot with TikTok. And Maticus is going to be watching this later, so he's going to hear everything I'm saying about him. But he and I had this talk where we're going to keep each other in check. Meaning, if we start straying our ways on TikTok, that we'll let each other know.
Okay, good. He's on
Yeah.
in 2 weeks, hopefully, all being well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like I'm
Um,
swamped with America. I think the last 3 weeks we've had Americans, and then I've got an American next
America,
week.
mm,
Hell
mm,
yeah.
America. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to do like a British period and running into Christmas, but
yeah. Whole month of yeah.
real Britannia. Yeah.
That's
Um,
creepy.
but yeah, and do you know, I think as well, understand what your different platforms mean to you. So TikTok for me is very different to my YouTube. But
Hmm.
even then, like a YouTube video that I make, edit, and post is very different to the Opie-verse. Like the Opie-verse is about me speaking with people that I've never really had the opportunity to speak to properly in this format. And what I want to do moving forward is I'm basically what I want to do is introduce you guys, the community that I know, to like the community that knows me. Then I want to start bringing you all back in groups and kind of create discussion groups. But I feel like I want to give you all that opportunity to show yourselves off first and introduce yourselves to the broader community, because then you
Nice.
come back and you're a bit like you feel comfortable, you know the format, you're comfortable with me, you're comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
Like
I think
basically, I just want to create internet drama, and I want everybody to be
oh
like
yeah, I was
party to
gonna
it.
say
Yeah,
all practice, so we're ready for our reality TV show called Opie-verse Reality TV, where we all live
yeah.
in little
Opie-verse
squares.
dating. That's what it'll be. Series 2 will be a dating show.
Opie-verse dating. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I'll find you a suitable British partner who you can date and see if we can get you on.
Yes,
I'll
please.
just kind of disappear in the
My
background.
gosh.
But
Give
yeah,
me a
Maddie,
green card.
that's time is flying. It's absolutely bombed through us. I can't believe how quick that's
I
gone.
know.
But
Well, it was really easy to talk to you, so
thank you. I am to please. I am to please. But where can our lovely viewers find you if they don't already? So your beacons is in the description below. But where should they be coming looking for you, and why?
you should look for me on TikTok as Brickin, like frickin', but Brickin Man.
Like you've got there, there,
Hmm.
there.
Yep, like that.
Yeah.
You can find me on all of those places: YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Yeah, yeah. All your Lego needs are met. Man, I'm really good about talking about myself. Like I don't know, like I'm
That's
horrible
why.
at
That's
it.
why I'm here. That's why I'm here, Maddie. But I would definitely, I don't. I only get people on who genuinely interest me, and I connect with, and the list goes on, and we'll have more people on over the kind of the weeks to come. But um, I wouldn't have Maddie on, and I wouldn't kind of promote Maddie if I didn't feel she was worth promoting. And we need Maddie, we need Technique a Week because I
Okay,
absolutely love Technique a Week. So,
I'm
and
on it.
do you have playlists yet?
No, I don't have playlists. I don't have ability to do it on TikTok, which is crap.
So I got it the day I hit 50,000 followers. It was there. So we need to give you this big push to get you to
I
50K
think maybe
because
that's
then,
why. Maybe that's why I don't have it because I'm not at 50K.
yeah,
I think that's
I
maybe it.
think it was almost like you were sat waiting for me. And then as soon as I hit it, like within 24 hours, it was there and I had playlists. So,
Oh, well, I'm really close. So we're halfway to 50K, and if we can get to 50K, then and I can get the playlist, I can post the technical weeks because that's one thing that I was like, oh, this would be great for that.
yeah,
Is it in a playlist? Anyways, yeah.
but yeah, well, there you go. Aiden, do you know, even though Black Mirror, I've seen one episode of Black Mirror and I loved it, but I've never gone back to it, but I do want to watch it. It's one of those things that my wife's a bit like, it was all right, but she's not going to kind of want to go and watch again. But she's going away in 2 weeks for like 4 nights. So I might just
You're just gonna have
absolutely
to
binge
binge
watch
watch
Black
it.
Mirror. Why not? What else is there to do? Binge watch Black Mirror, playing Lego, come back and I'll be like a feral animal.
Exactly.
Me and the dog running wild. But no, Maddie, it has been an absolute honour and a pleasure to have you on. It's been great to chat. Loved it. And as I say, I look forward to if you would like to come on. I would love to have you back on and get into some topics and get your views on some stuff.
That would be awesome. I would love to come back
Awesome.
whenever you want me to come back. That'd be great.
We will hook it up. 2022, it's on the cards because 2022 is right around the corner.
I
Tomorrow
know.
is the start the official start of Christmas.
Oh my god.
Well, you guys have Thanksgiving though, right? So
Yeah, every
like
Thanksgiving.
yeah, you've got Thanksgiving in the way, but for us, nah, tomorrow. I assume you guys have the cola truck advert that's been running for like 30 years. Where it's like holidays are coming, holiday. I feel like it's filmed in America, and it's just like the cola truck lit up, and Santa
Oh,
Claus is
yeah,
on the
yeah,
side
yeah,
of it.
and it's like the
So
polar bears and stuff like that. Yeah, I know
yes,
what you're talking about.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So we always say in the UK, when that advert comes on, it's
It's
officially the
time.
start of Christmas, and I think we'll start to see that this week.
Oh my
So
gosh.
so yeah, and
All
then
right.
it's
Oh, also
2022.
happy Halloween, right? Don't forget it's Halloween today.
Yes,
Yeah.
happy Halloween as well. But have a great Halloween. Hope you have lots of leftover candy for yourself.
Mhm.
Look forward to seeing all of your fantastic content. And we will speak again in this format very soon with some guests. So goodbye and thank you very much. Show you
Bye.
wave.